in his second duel. Alejandro's looked great.
If I'm the Cuban Wrestling Federation, this is the guy that I'm looking to put on posters. He's
Without a
incredible.
doubt.
Absolutely incredible. It should be interesting to see how Takatani deals with this firepower.
Continue. Continue, Red.
Valdez was a 2016 Olympian for Cuba. World bronze medalist a year ago.
It seems like he made such big leaps over the past 2 years. Just keeps getting better. You see now just locking up a cradle, getting to the side. Takatani's gonna have a tough time because he had such a wide stance. Oh, nice. Capture the leg, got to a high gut. Quick two, right back into the leg.
Still has that leg applied.
Trapped arm gut.
Yep, it's got the arm locked up. He'll go two to the left.
He's not getting him all the way back to flat, so they're not giving 2 more points.
There's 2 more. One more turn should do it. Takatani trying to get out of there. He'll get 2.
I feel like Valdez has something planned for him. I'm not sure why he.
And trails 8-3. A little bit of traction now for Takatani. Good flow of activity to start at 65 kilos. And finally, the 2 wrestlers get a break and they'll go back to the center. And there is the diary method at work.
Yeah. He loves journaling. Gets it in whenever he can, right? So Valdez really wanted to close that match out right there, but he got a little excited there with the last turn and gave up position.
Talked about that win yesterday for Valdez against Haji Aliyev, the 3-time world champion. He was winning the match at the time of the fall 8-2, so he was dominating, and then he was able to stick the wrestler from Azerbaijan.
So a lot of these Azerbaijanis, or a lot of the European wrestlers, are still getting used to the same day weight cut, and I think Haji Aliyev didn't really see the firepower of Valdez coming out of the gate. Got down 4-0, but then he answered, and I think a lot of people are like, okay, here comes Aliyev. Sure enough.
Blue, continue. Blue, continue.
Valdez with a front quarter Nelson. Interesting about the Cubans, they dig these deep underhooks and they can still get to corners. Even when their opponents are pulling on their elbows really hard, they're able to kind of find angles that a lot of wrestlers don't get. Takatani's got such a wide stance that once you do get to the corners, he's in a little bit more of an issue. He has a little bit more trouble defending.
Steady stream of attacks early in this first period will give Valdez an 8-3 lead as we wrap up period number 1. Valdez, the 5-time world and Olympic team member for Cuba, matched up against Takatani, who finished 2nd at the Asian Championships this year, took 2nd at the Asian Indoor as well. 23-year-old who's been a part of this senior world for Japan now 2 years. He was part of the contingency as we go back to some of the early rush by Valdez, and
just got a little bit ahead of himself on the last turn, got his near side leg caught, and then I think very foolishly kind of exposed himself. He was looking for a sort of game-ending roll. Beautiful low single.
Takatani shoots in effectively, and now let's see if he can cap it off with 2.
He's about to get crotch lifted.
2 points awarded for Takatani, and slowly he's starting to get his way back into it, down 3.
See it more on the women's side, but the Japanese wrestlers don't tend to worry too much if they get behind. They just keep plotting forward and plotting forward and plotting forward. They typically are very cool about the score. They just know it's one takedown at a time.
Yeah, there's never any panic.
No.
Straight line.
They know they can do it 2 points at a time. They don't feel like they have to do anything spectacular. Where you see a lot of like the Chinese women or the Mongolian men tend to be big move wrestlers, kind of like we saw with Bane.
You're Valdez. How do you get this match and momentum back in your corner?
You got to work the head a little bit. You got to get Takatani's head down, and you also need to make sure you close the distance. You don't want Takatani hitting that low single again. Also, you just got to be a little bit smarter. Don't step over the outside leg when you're below.
No single shot by Takatani comes up empty. A minute 50 to go, final period. Goes right back in on that single. Head between the legs. Waterfall position as Valdez comes over the top.
Valdez just want to control an ankle.
Still a firm grip on that knee. Valdez scrambling, trying to get the vice grip off that ankle of his.
Got a nice overhook.
Takatani still spinning, still with control.
This should be a 2-point position. Sort of saw, Valdez came out hot, but right now he's slowing down a little bit. I think if you even put a little bit of pressure on Takatani, Takatani might back off a little bit. But we've seen this script a million times in women's wrestling and with the Japanese and men's wrestling. They just want to plod forward, keep it close, and he will. If he's losing with 30 seconds left, he's going to take his shots. He's going to get ahead, and then he'll also take a shot when he's winning. Takatani, if he gets another takedown, will stay aggressive because he'll hang on a leg on a shot. Japanese are very active in the second period.
Shoots in on that low ankle, similar position. Sit out by Valdez. A takedown gives Takatani the lead.
He's got to be a little careful, keep his hips low.
Valdez in danger of giving up 2 if Takatani can get that head out of there, and he does, and Japan storms back to take the lead.
Incredible. He's got to be really careful not to give up 2 more. Oh, Valdez. This should be 1.
Valdez was close to getting the point.
Don't be surprised right off the whistle to see Takatani take a low outside shot. Not sure what he's...
Valdez wants the brick. He wants the challenge. Here it comes from the Cuban corner, and I think he agreed with you, Tim. He thought he had enough to get 1 there.
He probably did, but also the gamesmanship of it is he loses nothing because he'll need a takedown either way to win. So there's been no 4-point move, so if it goes to criteria at a 10-10, if he loses this, it gives up a point. At 10-10, he's fine. He steps over. I think it'd be tough not to give him at least 1. It's pretty tricky, actually, how he set it up. Did not see that coming. I think they're actually reviewing from the failed right there.
Everybody's invited. Free admission. Come celebrate a fantastic World Cup at the Big Pro Brewery tonight. Upon conclusion of the gold medal.
They're going to say nothing. Typically have to have more control. They did. They white paddled it.
White paddleboard. They wipe it out, plus the point on the missed challenge, and a 10-8 lead for Japan. Takatani was an inch away from having this match stopped early. Down 8-0.
Unclear what Valdez was doing. On the first whistle, he came out blazing, and the second one just sat there.
Takatani content to keep this position. He'll let the clock wind down, and what a comeback by Daichi Takatani. Valdez had been the superstar for Cuba through the first 3 duels, but what a second period from Daichi Takatani, and Japan goes up a convincing 3-0 lead.
I mean, this is the kind of match that Japan wrestles. If they get down early, as long as they stay in it,